Jay Jones now issuing an apology of sorts after a series of violent, inflammatory messages sent 3 years ago have now resurfaced, suggesting political violence against one of the state's top Republicans. That'd be the former State House Speaker Todd Gilbert and two of his children.
One text from Jones to a colleague reading in part, quote, 3 people, 2 bullets, Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Virginia's Governor Glenn Youngkin reacted earlier.
This is demented. And here we have the Democrat candidate running for Attorney General, the top cop in Virginia, wishing not only that he had 2 bullets to put in a guy's head, but then he wishes death on his children. Got to call for this guy to resign, step down, get out of this race in disgrace, because this is beyond disqualifying.
So a guy running for Attorney General in Virginia had his history, his text message history, come back and haunt him. Man, the internet never forgets. Stick around to the end of the video where we have more of his text messages so we can see exactly what he said in a much greater context. You don't want to miss it.
In moments, Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares trying to keep his office. We'll talk to him, but let's start at the White House with Mark Meredith again this hour. Hey, Mark, hello.
Bill, good morning once again. Early voting is already underway across Virginia, but this latest scandal involving political threats could completely reshape the race. As you mentioned, the president is calling for Virginia's Democratic Attorney General nominee to quit this contest, and today there are questions if other Democrats will support those calls. Jay Jones is running to be Virginia's Attorney General. He's challenging incumbent Republican Jason Miyares. In 2022, Jones texted another lawmaker that he would love to hypothetically shoot a Virginia Republican leader twice. In a statement issued Friday, Jones tried to clean up his comments, writing, "I take full responsibility for my actions, and I want to issue my deepest apology to Speaker Gilbert and his family. Reading back those words made me sick to my stomach. I am embarrassed, ashamed, and sorry." But the fallout is still happening, and it could have a huge impact on the state's ongoing gubernatorial race. Winsome Earl-Sears is running as the Republican against former Democratic Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger. Over the weekend, Earl-Sears urged voters to see this as a much bigger issue.
Now, let me just ask y'all this question. Do you really think this was going back only 3 years? Do you really think that he's sorry for his comments? Or is he more sorry that he got caught? I think it's definitely the latter. Now his real thoughts, his true thoughts and ideas and mindset were made public. Now he's embarrassed by it to some degree because he knows that there are a lot of people out there that would find this sickening, that would find this reprehensible. At the same time, considering what we've seen as of late when it comes to many on the left, obviously not all, but many, in light of the Charlie Kirk assassination and the attempted assassination on Donald Trump last year, and the celebration of the bank guy that Luigi Mangione shot, we know that a lot of these folks, they love death, they love violence, and this wouldn't offend too many of them, to be honest with you. Now, I'm not speaking for everyone, everybody on the left. But the further left you go, the more radical you get. And this kind of thing, this kind of thought process doesn't shock me one bit. Let me know what you think.
I am not saying Democrat leaders are committing violence. I'm saying this. The leadership of the Democrat Party is inciting violence as a strategy to win power.
As I mentioned, the president reacting to this in real time, saying Democrat Jay Jones should drop out of the race immediately, and the people of Virginia must continue to have a great attorney general the way of Jason Miyares, who, by the way, has my complete and total endorsement.
And what she said about them promoting violence, as far as Democrats, that's 100% the case. Every time you turn around, they're using the same inflammatory words. They haven't slowed down at all. In light of, as I mentioned before, Trump's attempted assassination, Charlie Kirk's assassination, you would think, in all this talk about toning down the rhetoric on both sides, as they love to say, but it was just a few days ago that Governor of California, Gavin Newsom, was referring to Trump's administration as fascist. You're hearing the same thing from Jamie Pritzker of Illinois, saying the same type of fascist, saying that they're snatching up black and brown people off the streets with zero context as they try to discuss these issues. They never tell you consistently all the details. And what's going to happen when you keep calling someone a fascistic regime, making comparisons to Hitler and all the other foolishness that they speak about? They know what they are doing. They're putting fear in people's minds, and when people are afraid, people react. And sometimes when you get some of these more extreme folks out there, they'll attempt to take justice, so to speak, into their own hands. And you'll get somebody trying to actually kill these guys. They know exactly what they're doing.
There's no indication yet that Jones would drop out of the race. As I mentioned, we are getting close to Election Day, less than a month out. Early voting is underway, but this is a question that'll continue to rock this election across the Commonwealth, especially after Charlie Kirk's assassination just 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Exactly. 100% exactly. Let's go on over to X so we can hear Mr. J. Jones, in his own words, tell you the type of administration that he plans on bringing into this country or into Virginia, how he plans on running things, and then we'll finish out the video by checking out his text messages.
Hi, I'm Jay Jones, Democrat running for Attorney General of Virginia, and we're going to talk about public safety. As the son of prosecutors and the father of 2 young boys, I've always believed that keeping our communities safe is the most important responsibility of any Virginia leader.
Except when the threats are coming out of his own mouth, but minor details.
That's why, as a delegate, I increased public safety funding by more than 20%, ensuring that law enforcement and our first responders have the resources and training they need to succeed. I also sponsored bipartisan laws to strengthen penalties for sex offenders, keep kids safe in schools, and establish programs to stop gangs like MS-13 in their tracks. Then, as an assistant attorney general, I took on the gun lobby and helped get illegal guns off of our streets. And this week, I'm releasing my public safety plan. As Attorney General, I'll focus the office on stopping violent crime, supporting victims, and protecting our kids.
With the exception of him actually wanting to shoot somebody in office. But again, don't fret over the small stuff, y'all.
Not the MAGA extremism we're getting from Jason Miyares. Here's how we're going to do it. First, I'll combat violent crime by ensuring local law enforcement agencies can solve crimes and bring offenders to justice. We'll create a drug trafficking unit and work with our neighboring states to stop fentanyl trafficking. And we'll support community-based treatment and crisis response programs so people who need help get the treatment they need instead of ending up in jail. Next, I'll get illegal
Some people actually need to go to jail.
Guns off of our streets by increasing interagency cooperation to target illegal guns. We'll hold gun manufacturers accountable for the damage their weapons cause and use settlement money and other federal resources to expand violence interruption programs that actually target the root causes of gun violence. Finally, I'll make the Attorney General's office a leader in protecting Virginia's children. I'll boost resources to fight domestic violence and child abuse, step up efforts to fight trafficking.
Child abuse. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when we look at some of the more details of his comments.
And crack down on the social media companies violating privacy laws and taking advantage of our kids to increase their profits. My North Star is creating safer communities for my kids and for yours. And as Virginia's next Attorney General, I'm ready to deliver just that.
So they responded, "It really bothers me when you talk about hurting people or wishing death on them." They continue, "You weren't simply asking questions, and you know it." Then Jay responds, "I genuinely was. I wasn't attacking you. I was trying to understand your logic. You weren't trying to understand. You were talking about hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. Yes, I've told you this before. Only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy." Let's keep that in mind. This is the guy who wants to be the Attorney General for their state. Then they continue, or the person responds, "There isn't. I point blank asked you more than 3 times, and you dug in that. You meant it. I honestly am questioning a lot today. I mean, do I think Todd and Jennifer are evil and that they are breeding little fascists? Yes. So let me know what y'all think. Dude apologized, but do you think his apology was sincere, or was he just trying to save face and hopefully save his campaign in his mind? Let me know what you think. Comment down below. But before you go, make sure you check out this video right here. I think you'll appreciate it.